Welcome to my channel.
In the heart of the whispering woods, where the trees touched the sky and the leaves rustled like a soft melody, lived a tiny firefly named Lumi. Lumi wasn't like the other fireflies. Her light was a bit brighter, her wings were a bit quicker, and her curiosity was as vast as the forest itself. Every night, as the moon rose high above, Lumi and her firefly friends would gather to light up the forest with their gentle, golden glow. They would flit between the trees, playing hide and seek, and making the whole forest sparkle like 1,000 little stars had descended from the sky. One evening, as Lumi was chasing her reflection across a still pond, she noticed a twinkling star slowly falling from the sky. Mesmerized by its beauty, Lumi forgot about the game and started following the star, flying higher and higher above the treetops. The star seemed to dance just out of reach, pulling Lumi further and further away from her friends. As Lumi soared higher, the whispering woods began to look smaller and smaller below her. The trees turned into shadows, and the sounds of the forest became faint whispers in the night air. She was so captivated by the star's glow that she didn't notice she had flown into a part of the forest she had never explored before. Suddenly, the star disappeared behind a cloud, leaving Lumi alone in the dark sky. Panic set in as she realized she was lost. The forest below her was unfamiliar, filled with dense shadows and eerie sounds she had never heard before. Lumi's bright light began to flicker as she hovered in the air, trying to figure out which way to go. She descended slowly, hoping to find something familiar, but the more she flew, the more lost she became. The trees here were taller, their branches intertwined like a maze, and the moonlight barely penetrated the thick canopy. Lumi's heart raced as she darted from one tree to another, her small light barely cutting through the darkness. Wise new friend. Just as Lumi was about to give up hope, she heard a soft, soothing voice from above. "Who's there, fluttering about in my forest so late at night?" Lumi looked up to see a large, wise old owl perched on a branch high above her. His feathers were a mix of silver and gray, and his eyes shone with a gentle, golden light that made Lumi feel a little less afraid. "My name is Lumi," she replied, her voice trembling. "I was chasing a star, and now I'm lost. I don't know how to find my way back home." The owl blinked slowly, tilting his head as he studied the tiny firefly. "Ah, chasing stars can lead to quite the adventure, little one. My name is Oliver, and I've lived in these woods for many years. Perhaps I can help you find your way." Lumi's light brightened just a bit as she hovered closer to Oliver. "Oh, thank you. I'd really appreciate your help. The woods are so dark and scary here." Oliver chuckled softly, his feathers rustling as he spread his wings. "The whispering woods can seem frightening if you don't know their secrets. But don't worry, Lumi, I'll guide you. There's a path not far from here that will lead you back to where you belong." With that, Oliver took flight, gliding silently through the trees. Lumi followed close behind, her light casting a warm glow that made the shadows dance around them. As they flew deeper into the woods, the trees began to thin out, and a soft rustling sound filled the air. Lumi spotted a small, brown squirrel busily gathering acorns at the base of a tree. The squirrel was so focused on his task that he didn't notice Lumi and Oliver until they were right beside him. "Hello there," Lumi called out, her voice gentle. The squirrel jumped in surprise, nearly dropping the acorn he was holding. He looked up at Lumi with wide eyes, then quickly hid behind the tree trunk, peeking out cautiously. "Don't be scared," Lumi said softly. "My name is Lumi, and this is Oliver. I'm lost, and Oliver is helping me find my way back home." The squirrel slowly came out from behind the tree, his tiny paws clutching the acorn tightly. I'm Nutty," he stammered. "I've lived in this part of the forest all my life. Maybe I can help too." Oliver nodded approvingly. "Nutty knows these woods better than anyone. He might know a shortcut." Nutty's eyes brightened a little as he nodded eagerly. "There's a hidden path that leads back to the heart of the forest. It's not far from here, but it's tricky to find. I can show you the way." Lumi's light flickered with excitement as she thanked Nutty. The three of them set off together, Nutty leading the way. He scurried ahead, darting through the underbrush and over fallen logs, while Lumi and Oliver followed from above. After a short while, Nutty stopped in front of a large, ancient tree with roots that twisted and turned like the tentacles of an octopus. "Here it is," he said proudly, pointing to a small, almost invisible opening between the roots. "This is the hidden path." The narrow opening, her light illuminating the start of a winding tunnel that seemed to go on forever. She hesitated for a moment, feeling a bit nervous about venturing into the unknown, but Oliver's reassuring presence gave her the courage she needed. "Thank you, Nutty," Lumi said, her voice filled with gratitude. I'm lucky to have found such kind friends. Nutty blushed, his tail twitching with pride. You're welcome, Lumi. Just keep following the tunnel, and you'll come out near the sparkling waterfall. From there, it's a straight path back to your home. With a final wave goodbye, Lumi fluttered into the tunnel, with Oliver close behind. The tunnel was narrow and winding, but Lumi's light guided them through the twists and turns. As they emerged on the other side, Lumi gasped in awe. Before them was the most beautiful waterfall she had ever seen. The water cascaded down from a great height, shimmering in the moonlight like a curtain of diamonds. The pool at the base of the waterfall glowed with a soft, ethereal light that reflected the colors of the rainbow. This is the sparkling waterfall, Oliver said softly. It's said to have special powers, and many creatures come here to make wishes. Lumi's eyes widened with wonder. Can I make a wish too? Of course, Oliver replied with a nod. But remember, the true magic comes from within you. Lumi closed her eyes, her heart filled with hope as she made her wish. She wished to find her way back to her friends and to always have the courage to explore new places, no matter how scary they seemed at first. As Lumi opened her eyes, the waterfall's light seemed to glow even brighter, as if acknowledging her wish. She felt a warm, comforting sensation deep within her, and she knew she was ready to continue her journey. After what felt like hours, they finally emerged from the dense part of the forest. Lumi recognized the tall oak tree where she and her friends often played, and her heart leaped with joy. We're almost there, Lumi exclaimed, her light shining like a beacon. As they flew closer, Lumi saw her firefly friends gathered around, their lights flickering anxiously as they searched for her. When they saw Lumi approaching, they all lit up in unison, creating a beautiful display of lights that illuminated the entire forest. Lumi, you're back, her friends cheered, rushing to greet her. Lumi's light glowed brighter than ever as she hugged her friends. I got lost chasing a star, but I found some amazing new friends who helped me find my way back. Oliver landed on a branch nearby, watching the joyful reunion with a contented smile. Nutty soon arrived as well, chattering excitedly about the adventure they had shared.